Good evening, and welcome to Monarch High School Theater Department's production of A Christmas Carol. Please take this opportunity to turn off all electronic devices as they interfere with our sound system. Out of courtesy for the actors, please do not leave during the performance. There will be a 20-minute intermission. Bathrooms are located down by the gyms. The Cratchit family ornaments and concessions will be sold during this time. Please feel free to join in with the holiday cheer and merriment. Thank you so much for supporting Monarch Theater, and enjoy the show.
Your servant, ma'am.
Are you off home to keep Christmas?
I'm not in the habit of keeping Christmas.
Then why are you rushing off?
Christmas has a habit of keeping men from doing business.
It's in the nature of things that ants toil and grasshoppers sing and play, Mr. Scrooge.
Now, an ant is what it is, and a grasshopper is what it is, and Christmas, ma'am, is a humbug. Good day.
Mr. Scrooge, sir.
Who are you?
Samuel Wilson, sir.
Yes, I believe you owe me a little matter of 20-odd pounds.
Can't pay you, sir.
Why is that?
Not unless you give me more time.
More time? Did I ask you for more time to lend you the money?
No, sir.
Why should you ask for more time to pay it back?
I can't take my wife to a debtor's prison, sir.
Leave her behind. Why should she have to go to a debtor's prison anyway? She didn't borrow the 20 pounds, you did. What has your wife got to do with it? Doesn't matter, what have I got to do with it?
Mr. Scrooge, it's Christmas, sir.
Christmas? Has even less to do with it, my dear sir, than your wife has or I have. You'd still be in the position to owe me 20 pounds if it was the middle of a heat wave on August bank holiday. Good afternoon. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Cratchit. Burning coal so close to closing time.
It's cold and foggy, sir. Penetrating.
Cold? Nonsense. Haven't you a candle there on your desk?
I do, sir, but the figures suffer in my handshake.
How many times do I have to tell you, Cratchit? If you persist to be so extravagant with the coal, we'll have to part company, you and I. I can get another clerk, you know, much more easily than you can get another position.
Yes, sir.
A Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you.
Bah, humbug!
Christmas? A humbug, Uncle? You don't mean that, I'm sure.
I do. Merry Christmas. What right have you to be married? What reason have you to be married? You're poor enough.
Come then. What reason do you have to be dismal? What reason do you have to be morose? You're rich enough.
Bah, humbug!
Don't be cross, Uncle.
Don't be cross. What else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this? Merry Christmas. Out upon Merry Christmas. What's Christmas time to you but a time for paying bills without money? A time for stacking up all your books and having every item in them through around a dozen of months presented dead against you. If I could work my will, every idiot who goes around with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart. He should.
Uncle!
Nephew, keep Christmas in your own way and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it? But you don't keep it.
Then leave it alone then. Much good may it do you? What good has it ever done you?
There are many things from which I derive good, and it has not profited me, I dare say. Christmas among the rest. But I've always thought of Christmas time, when it has come around, and apart from the veneration due to its sacred name and origin, as Nothing but a good time. A kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time of the year. And the only time in the long calendar year which I can think of, in which men and women, seen by one consent, open their shut-up hearts freely and see people below them as if they were really fellow passengers to the grave, and not as another race of creatures bound on another journey. And so, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good, and I believe it will do me good. And I say, God bless it!
Another word out of you, and I'll have you keep your Christmas by losing your job. Quite a powerful speaker, nephew. I wonder if you don't go into Parliament.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow.
I'll be busy. Tell me, why did you marry your wife?
Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love. Good afternoon.
Uncle, you never came to see me before that happened. Why give it as a reason not to come now?
Good afternoon.
I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why can't we be friends?
Good afternoon.
Uncle, I am so sorry with all my heart to find you so resolute. We have never had any quarrel to which I've been a party. And therefore, I will keep the trial in homage to Christmas. And I will keep my Christmas humor to the last. So a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Good afternoon.
How is Mrs. Cratchit and all the assorted Cratchits?
Very good, sir.
All chomping at the bit, waiting for Christmas to begin, eh?
All very eager, sir.
And the little lame one, which one is he?
Tim, sir.
Oh, that's right. How is he?
We're in high hopes that he's getting better, sir.
That's good. A Merry Christmas to you.
And to you too, I'm sure.
Thank you.
And you, Cratchit, talking about a Merry Christmas with 15 shillings an hour with a wife and family at home. Or retire to Bedlam.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Good day. Do I have the pleasure of addressing Scrooge or Marley?
Mrs. Marley died these 7 years ago. She died 7 years ago this very night.
We do hope that her generosity is well represented by her surviving partner.
At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and destitute who suffer greatly at the present time. Many thousands are in want of common comforts. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common necessities, sir.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And the Union workhouses are in full operation, then?
They are. Still, I wish I could say they were not.
And the poor law and treadmill factory are in full vigor.
Both very busy, sir.
You see, I was afraid from what you had said that something had stopped them from their useful course. I'm very glad to hear it.
Under the impression that they scarcely furnish Christian cheer of mind or body to the multitude, a few of us are attempting to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. What shall we put you down for?
Nothing.
Ah, you wish to remain anonymous.
I wish to be left alone. Since you ask me what I wish, gentlemen, that is my answer. I don't make myself merry at Christmas time, and I can't afford to make idle people merry either. I support the establishments I have mentioned, and those who are badly off must go there.
Well, many can't go there, and many would rather die.
They'd rather die. They better do it, and decrease the surplus population. Besides, I don't know that.
But you might know it.
It's not my business. It's enough for a man to know his own business without having to interfere with other people's. And mine occupies me constantly. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
God bless you, merry gentlemen, and nothing you should say. Remember Christ our Savior was born
Ah! Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. And you, Cratchit, I suppose you'll want all day tomorrow.
If quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient, and it's not fair. If I was to stop half a crown for it, you'd think yourself ill-used, I'll be bound. If I was to pay a full day's wages for no work, you wouldn't think me ill-used.
It's only once a year, sir.
Yes. Well, then I'll suppose you'll have the whole day tomorrow. Be here all the earlier next morning.
Oh, I will. Good night, Mr. Scrooge. Oh, and Mr. Scrooge.
Yes.
A Merry Christmas to you.
A humbug! That's what that is, a humbug! Merry Christmas to me.
We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings to you wherever you are. Good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish
Out
you
of
a
my
Merry
way! Out of my way! Marley. No, it's a humbug still. I won't believe it. particular.
In life, I was your partner, Jane Marley.
Troubled spirit, why did you come to me?
Man of the worldly mind, do you believe in me or not?
I do not. You are not real. Well, then I must. But tell me, why do spirits walk the earth and why do they come to me?
It is required of every man to walk abroad among his fellow men and travel far and wide. And if that spirit goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. It is doomed to wander the world. Oh, woe is me! And witness what it cannot share, but might have shared on earth and turn to happiness!
You are fettered. Tell me why.
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link, and yard by yard, I girded it on of my own free will, and of my own free will I bore it. Is its pattern strange to you? Or would you know the weight and length of the strong coil you bear yourself? It was full as heavy and as long as this 7 Christmas Eves ago. You've labored on it since. It is a ponderous chain.
Old Jane Marley, tell me more. Speak comforts to me, Jane.
I have none to give. It comes from other regions, Ebenezer Scrooge, and is conveyed by other ministers to other kinds of men. Nor can I tell you what I would. A very little more is all permitted to me. I cannot rest. I cannot stay. I cannot linger anywhere. In life, my spirit never walked beyond our money-changing house. Mark me! In life, my spirit never roved beyond the walls of our money-lending hall. And where journeys lie before me?
You must have been very slow about it then, Jane.
Slow?
7 years dead and traveling all the time.
The whole time. No rest, no peace. Incessant torture of remorse!
You travel fast.
On the wings of the wind.
One might have thought you'd cover quite a quantity of ground in
Oh, captain! Bound in double iron! Not to know that age is incessant labor. For the earth must pass into eternity before the good of which it is susceptible is all developed. Not to know that any good-hearted creature, working kindly in its little sphere, whatever it may be, will find its mortal life too short for its vast means of usefulness. Not to know that no space of regret can make amends for one's life opportunity misused. Yet such was I, oh, such was I.
You were always a good woman of business, Jane.
Business? Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. At this time of the rolling year, I suffer most. Why did I walk through crowds of fellow beings, my eyes turned down and raised them to look at others with kindness and mercy? Hear me! My time is nearly gone.
I will. But don't be hard upon me, Jane. Don't be flowery, pray.
How it is that I appear before you in shape and form that you can see, I may not tell. I have sat invisible beside you many and many a day. I am here tonight to warn you. You have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate. A chance and hope of my procuring Ebenezer.
You were always a good friend to me, Jane. Thank you.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the chance and hope you mentioned earlier, Jane?
It is.
I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tonight when the bell tolls
my imagination. It's a humbug still. Must have eaten something ill for dinner. Whew. Whose coming was foretold to me.
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past.
No, your past.
Wonder if you might put a hat on.
What would you so soon put out with worldly hands the light I give? Is it not enough that you are one of those whose passions made this cap and forced me through whole trains of years to wear it low upon my brow?
I did not mean to offend. What business brings you here?
Your welfare.
I am much obliged. But I wonder if a good night's sleep might not be more conducive to that end.
Your proclamation, then. Take heed. Rise and walk with me.
It's the middle of the night. It's below freezing. I'm wearing a knight's cap, a dressing gown, and my shoes. I'm mortal, and I'm liable to fall.
Bear but a touch of my hand there, and you shall be upheld in more than this.
Good heavens. I was bred in this place. I was a boy here.
Your lip is trembling. And what is that upon your cheek?
It's a blemish. I beg your spirit, lead me where you would.
These are but shadows of the things that have been. They have no consciousness of us. The school is not quite deserted. Solitary child, neglected by his friends, is left there still.
Yes. Yes, I know it. Poor boy. Well, I wish, but it's too late now.
What is the matter?
No. There was a little girl caroling at my desk last night. I should have liked to have given her something, that's all.
Let us see another Christmas.
Fan.
Ebenezer! Dear brother, I've come to take you home, dear brother. To bring you home.
Home, little Fan?
Yes. Home for good and all, home forever and ever. Father is so much kinder now than he once was that home, it's like heaven.
For you, perhaps, but not for me. Father hardly knows me, or even what I look like. Same as I hardly know you, now that you're quite a woman.
Oh, Eb, he spoke to me so gently one dear night that I was not afraid to ask him once more if you might come home. And he said, yes, you should. And he sent me in a carriage to bring you. And you're to be a man and are never to come back here. But first, we're to be together all Christmas long and have the merriest time in the world.
You're quite a woman, little Fan.
Always a delicate creature whom a breath might have withered. But she had a large heart.
So she had.
She died a woman and had, as I think, children.
Yes, one child.
True. Your nephew.
Yes. Know it? I have princessed here. My, it's old Fezziwig. It's old Fezziwig alive again.
You're home there, Ebenezer Dick.
Oh, Dick Wilson, to be sure. He was very attached to me, was Dick. Oh, poor Dick, dear.
Well, no more work tonight, my lads. It's Christmas Eve, Dick. It's Christmas, Ebenezer. Let's have the shutters up and bring in the food before a man can say Jack Robinson. Well, clear away, my lads. Let's have lots of room here. Where are my daughters?
in music.
Small?
And what a sweet old woman is Miss Fezziwig. Ah, the sweetest. Did you see her dancing with everyone? Ah, yes. The look on her face. She was in heaven and fully deserved to be. And where the devil did she get these fiddlers? Ah, weren't they marvelous? I'd say this year's party was finer than the last. There's such a thing as possible. Stop it.
Fezziwig spent but a few pounds of your mortal money. 3 or 4, perhaps. Is that so much that she deserves this praise?
No, it's not that. She had the power to render us happy or unhappy, to make our services light or burdensome, a pleasure or a toil. To say that her powers lies in things of looks and words, in things so insignificant it's impossible to add and count them up. What then? The happiness she gave was as if it cost a fortune.
What is the matter?
Nothing in particular.
Something, I think.
Well, just would have liked to say a word or two to my clerk just now, that's all.
My time grows short.
Well,
It matters little to you. Very little. Another idol has displaced me, and if it can please and comfort you in time to come, as I would have tried to do, I have no just cause to grieve.
What idol has displaced you?
A golden one.
This is the even-handed dealing of the world. There is nothing on which it is so hard as poverty, and there is nothing it professes to condemn with such severity as the pursuit of wealth.
You fear the world too much.
All your other hopes have merged into the hope of being beyond the chance of its sordid reproach. I have seen your nobler aspirations fall off one by one until the master passion, gain, engrosses you. Have I not?
What then? Even if I have grown so much wiser, what then? I'm not changed towards you.
Our engagement is an old one. It was made when we were both poor and content to be so, until, in good season, we could improve our worldly fortune by a patient industry. You are changed. When it was made, you were another man.
'Twas true, I was a boy. I'm not now what I was then.
I am, which promised happiness when we were one in heart, is fraught with misery now that we are two. How often and how keenly I have thought of this, I will not tell. It is enough that I have thought of it and can release you from our engagement.
Have I ever sought release?
In words? No, never.
In what then?
In a changed nature, in an altered spirit, in another atmosphere of life, another hope at its great end, in everything that made my love of any worth or value in your sight. If this had never been between us, tell me, would you seek me out and try to win me now? No.
Think not.
I would gladly think otherwise if I could. Heaven knows. When I have learned the truth like this, I know how strong and irresistible it must be. But if you were free, today, tomorrow, yesterday, can even I believe that you would choose a dowerless girl? You, in your very confidence with her, weigh everything by gain, or, choosing her, if for a moment you are false enough to your one guiding principle to do so, do I not know that your repentance and regret would surely follow? I do. And I release you from our engagement with a full heart for the love of him you once were. You may the memory of what is past half makes me hope you will have pain in this. A very, very brief time when you will dismiss the recollection of it gladly as an unprofitable dream from which it happened well that you awoke. May you be happy in the life you have chosen.
Spirit, conduct me home. Show me no more. No more, no more. I don't wish to see you, Spirit. Remove me from this place.
I told you these were shadows of the things that have been, that they are what they are. Do not blame me.
Remove me. I cannot bear it. Take me back. Leave me. Haunt me no longer.
Scrooge! Wake up, Scrooge! Come in and know me better, man! I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look upon me!
No, never.
Nor have you walked forth with my brothers in these later years.
I'm afraid I have not. Have you many brothers, Spirit?
Approximately 1,842.
A tremendous family to provide for. Oh, Spirit, I went forth earlier on compulsion, and I learned a lesson which is working now. So, tonight, if you have aught to teach me something, let me profit by it.
Touch my robe.
We smelled the goose.
Outside the bakers, we smelled the goose.
How'd you know it was ours?
Sage and onion, mother.
Ah, well, the goose won't do much good if I can't keep the fire burning under the potatoes. Did you see Martha coming? Or your father and Tiny Tim coming home from church?
We only smelled the goose.
Maybe it isn't very big, but it smells big.
What has ever got your precious father then? And brother Tiny Tim? And Martha weren't as late last year by nearly half an hour.
Here's Martha, mother.
Here's Martha, mother. Hurrah!
Such a goose, Martha.
Oh, why, bless your heart alive, my dear, how late you are.
Oh, we did you have to finish up last night? I had to go away this morning, mother.
Well, never mind then, so long as you are come. Sit you down before the fire, my dear, and have a walk.
Sit here, Martha.
No, Father's coming. Hide, Martha, hide.
Oh, goodness.
Here we are, Tim. Go say hi to your mum.
Oh, Tim. How is church, dear? Give Mummy a kiss.
Why, where's Aunt Martha?
Not coming.
Not coming. Not coming upon Christmas Day.
Not coming because I'm here. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Come sit with us, Tim.
And how did our little Tim behave in church?
As good as gold. And better. You know, sitting by himself so much, he starts to think. And he thinks some of the strangest things you've ever heard. Like coming home today, he told me how he hoped the people in the church saw him because he was a cripple. And it would help remind them upon Christmas Day who made the lame beggars walk and the blind men see. He's getting stronger every day, isn't he?
Yes, dear. He is.
Now, Belinda, fetch me a saucepan so I can cook us up something warm to toast with on Christmas Day. And the lemons.
Petra, will you mash the potatoes before Belinda fetches the goose? Tim, will you sweeten up the applesauce? And Martha, will you fetch the glassware for cooking the toast?
Let's see. 2 tumblers and a custard bottle down my store.
They'll hold the hot stuff as good as golden goblets.
Okay, don't forget the cup. Thank you.
Here we are.
The goose is cooked. The goose is cooked.
Not much of a goose.
Delicious.
Okay, sit. Good, Petra. All right.
Bless us, O Lord, in these thy gifts which we are about to receive from thy bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
This is delicious. Okay,
What is this?
Oh, thank you. Would you like some lemons?
This is the most tender goose I have ever had.
And big.
And cheap.
It's lovely, Mother. This is a goose we shall remember for as long as we live.
Oh, thank you, Tim. I can't stand to look at the pudding. Suppose it should not be done enough. Suppose it should break on turning out.
Suppose somebody should have gotten over the back wall and into the backyard and stolen it while we were eating that goose. Stop!
Don't worry, it's fine.
This has to be Belinda's last hit.
Oh, yes, last week.
She dropped it.
Okay, let's see.
Oh.
That looks
Da-da-da!
Beautiful.
This is the best Christmas pudding I have ever seen. Merry Christmas. God bless us.
God bless us.
God bless us, everyone!
Spirit, tell me if Tiny Tim will live.
I see a vacant seat in the poor chimney corner, and a crutch without an owner carefully preserved.
No.
If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
Spirit, say he will be spared.
If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, none other of my race will be able to find him here. What then? Man, you being hot, not adamant, forbear that wicked cannot rest until you discover what surplus is and where it is. Will you decide what men shall live and what men shall die? It may be that in the sight of heaven, you are more unworthy and less fit to live than millions like this poor man's child. Oh God, dear the insect on the leaf proclaiming once too much life amongst his hungry brothers in the dust.
Mr. Scrooge. I give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of our feast.
The founder of the feast, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon, and I hope he'd have good appetite for it.
My dear, the children. Christmas Day.
It should be Christmas Day, I am sure, on which one drinks the health of such an odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is Robert. Nobody knows it better than you, poor fellow.
My dear, have some charity. It's Christmas Day, after all.
I'll drink his health for your sake and the day's, not for his. Long life to him, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. You'll be very merry and very happy. I have no doubt.
To Mr. Scrooge.
To Mr. Scrooge.
To Mr. Scrooge.
My, what place is this? Fred!
Tell them what he said to you.
He said that Christmas was a humbug. I let him live. And he believed it too.
Well, more shame for him, Fred. I should very much like to meet your older friend. Me too. The small way in which you portray him has made me curious.
He's a comical old fellow, that's the truth, and he's not as pleasant as he might be. However, his offenses do carry their own punishments, and I have nothing to say against him.
Well, I'm sure he is very rich, Fred. I mean, you always tell me so.
Put it that way, dear. His wealth is of no use to him. He don't do any good with it. He don't make himself comfortable with it. He hasn't the satisfaction of thinking that he is ever going to benefit us with it.
Well, I have no patience with him.
Oh, I have. I am sorry for him. I couldn't be angry with him if I tried. Who suffers by his ill whims? Himself, always. Here, he takes it into his own head to dislike us, and he won't even come dine with us. What's the consequence there? He don't want much of dinner.
I say he loses a very good dinner. Really, Fred, I think you're being awfully charitable.
If that's so, it may be because of my mother. God rest her saintly soul. I was very fond of him. She loved him.
Do go on, Fred. He never finishes what he begins to say. I mean, he's such a ridiculous fellow.
I was only going to say that the consequence of his taking a dislike to us and not making merry with us is, at least I think, is that he loses some pleasant moments, which could do him no harm. I mean, I'm sure he loses pleasanter companions in his own thoughts, either in his moldy old officer's dusty chambers. I mean, to give him the same chance every year, whether he likes it or not. For I pity him. He may rail at Christmas to his eyes, but he can't help thinking better of it. If he finds me going there, year after year, in good temper, and saying, "Oh, Uncle Scrooge, how are you?" If it only leaves him in the vein to leave his poor clerk 50-odd pounds, hey, that's something. And I think I shook him yesterday. Hey, fiddler, play us some music.
Truly lovely. Now then, let's play a game. It is called Yes and No. Since you're the host, you'll go first.
I think we should at least stay until the guests have departed.
Okay, fine. What do I have to do?
I'm afraid that cannot be done.
Well, here's a new game. Let's just stay 1/2 hour more, only one.
You think of something, anything, and the rest of us must find out what it is. But you may only answer our questions yes or no, as the case may be.
All right. Well, oh, I've got it.
You thought of something?
Yes. Fire away.
No.
Is it animal, vegetable, or mineral?
No. It has to be a question you can answer yes or no. Are you thinking of an animal?
Yes.
Living or dead? Is it living?
Yes.
A wild animal?
Well,
Can it be found in London?
yes. I'm afraid so.
Does it live in a menagerie?
No. Wouldn't go near it.
Is it a horse?
Is it an ox?
No! Is it a cow?
And does it walk the streets?
Yes.
Wait! This is some kind of rat.
Yes. Maybe a pack rat.
Wait, is it a man?
Oh, I know what this is.
It's your Uncle Scrooge.
Yes!
Wait, Fred. That's not fair. When I asked, is it an ox, you should have said yes! It's true.
Well,
Goodness.
he has given us plenty of merriment, and I think it would be ungrateful not to drink his health away. I say, Uncle Scrooge,
Yes, here's to him.
a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the old man, whatever he is. He wouldn't take it from me, but may he have it nevertheless. Uncle Scrooge.
To Uncle Scrooge.
Thank you so much. Are you feeling well rested now? I am. Bless you, dear gentle art. If I'd have known you'd be away, I'd have come sooner and brought friends. Tell me, aren't there more places like this? I'm not really sure, ma'am.
Quite a turnout.
More than expected. If this continues, we will not last till next week.
Something will turn up, I'm sure. It's been a long day. Thinking about going home to family?
Thinking about selling a watch.
Spirit, your hair is graying. Is your life so short-lived?
Very brief. Mine ends tonight.
Tonight? I'm very sorry if I'm not in a position to say this, but I see something protruding from your cloak. Something strange and not belonging to yourself. Is it a foot or is it a claw?
It might well be a claw, for that's all the flesh that is upon it. Look down here. Look! Look down here, man!
Spirit, are they yours?
They are man's. They cling to me, appealing from their fathers.
The boy is ignorance, the girl is want. Beware both of them in all of their degree, but especially beware this boy. For I see on his forehead that written which is doom, lest the writing be erased. Slander those who tell ye, admit it for your factitious purposes, and bide thy end.
Have they no refuge or resource?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
Last of the spirits. I am among the ghosts of Christmas yet to come. You are about to show me shadows of things that have not happened, but will happen in the coming times. Is that right? Ghost of the future, I fear you more than any specter I have seen, but as I know your purpose is to do me good, and as I hope to be another man from what I was, I'm prepared to bear your company and do it with a thankful heart. Will you not speak to me? Lead on, lead on. The night is waning fast. I know it. Yes. Yes, I know these women, the business associates.
No, I don't know about it either way. I only know that he's dead.
And when did he die?
Last night, I believe.
Why, what was wrong with him? I thought he'd never die.
God knows.
What has he done with his money?
I haven't heard. Left it to his company, perhaps. He hasn't left it to me, that's all I know. Oh, it's likely to be a very cheap funeral, for upon my life I don't know of anybody to go to it. Suppose we'll have a party and volunteer.
I don't mind going if God just provides it, but I must be fed if I make one.
Well, I am the most disinterested one. I wear black gloves and I never eat much, but I'll get to go if anybody else will. Come to think of it, I'm not at all sure I was his most particular friend before we used to stop and speak when we met. Farewell.
I am rather surprised that you should pay such importance to conversations apparently so trivial. It must have some sort of hidden purpose or meaning. Otherwise, you wouldn't be showing them to me. Is that right? Well, they could scarcely have any bearing on the death of Jane Marley, for her death was in the past, and this is the future.
Open that bundle, old Josie, and let me know the value of it. Speak up plain. I'm not afraid to be the first, nor afraid for you to see it. We both knew we were helping ourselves before we met you. pleasure, I believe. It is no sin. Open the bundle, Josie. What do you call these, bed curtains? I don't suppose you mean to say you took them down, rings and all, with him just lying there?
This is disgusting. I can't look at this, rings and all.
You were born to make your fortune, and you'll certainly do it. I certainly shan't hold my hand when I can get anything in a kiss by rinsing it up, for the sake of such a man as he was, I promise you. Josie, don't drop that oil upon the blankets now. His blankets? Whose else do you think? He's unlikely to catch cold without him, I dare say. I hope he didn't die of anything catching, eh? Oh, don't you be afraid of that. I ain't so fond of his company that I'd loiter about him for such things, if he did. Ah, you may look through that shirt till your eyes ache, but you won't find a hell in it, nor a threadbare place. It is the best he had, a fine one too. They'd have wasted it if it hadn't been for me. What do you call wasting of it? Why, putting it on to be buried in, to be sure. Somebody was fool enough to do it, but I took it off again. If calico ain't good enough for such a purpose, it ain't good enough for anything. It's quite as becoming to the body. He can't look uglier than he did in that one. Since the end of it, you see, he frightened every one of us away from him when he was alive. Only to profit us when he was dead.
Tell me, Phineas, is it good or bad? Are we quite ruined?
No, there is hope yet, Caroline.
If he relents, there is. Nothing is past hope if such a miracle has happened.
He's past relenting, he's dead.
I am thankful in my soul to hear that. May God forgive me for having said such a thing.
Well, when I went to see him and tried to obtain a least delay, his maid told me he was ill. And what I thought was a mere excuse just to avoid me, turns out to have been quite true. He was not only very ill, but dying then.
2 more dead be transferred.
I don't know, but by that time we shall be ready with the money. And even though we were not, it would be a bad fortune indeed to find so merciless a creditor in his successor. May we sleep tonight with light hearts, Caroline.
So, it's a happier house for this man's death, then. Is that the only emotion you can show me? Pleasure? Although, I don't suppose one can attach much importance to conversations connected with a death.
Auntie took the little child and he set them in the lift to bed. Shall I stop reading?
No. It's only the colour. It hurts my eyes. They're better now again. It makes them weak by candlelight. And I wouldn't show weak eyes when your father comes home for the world. It must be near his time.
Past it, rather. But I think he has walked a little slower these past few evenings, Mother.
I've known him to walk with... I've known him to walk with Tiny Tim upon his shoulder. Very fast indeed.
And so have I, often.
But he was very light to carry. And his father loved him so. It was no trouble. No trouble. Oh, and there's your father at the door.
Dear God.
I ran into Mr. Scrooge's nephew in the street today. He told me I looked just a little down. He acquired to what had happened to possibly distress me, for he is the most pleasantest spoken gentleman, and I told him that. I'm heartily sorry for you, Mr. Cratchit, he said. I'm heartily sorry for you and a good wife. And by the by, I had no clue how you know that.
Knew what?
Why, that you were a good wife.
Everybody
Everybody knows that.
I sure hope they do. And I'm heartily sorry for you and your good wife. And if I can be of any service to you or your family, just let me know. And he handed me his card. It wasn't for much of anything he could do for us, but merely in his kind way. And it was quite delightful. It was almost as if he felt with us and has known our Tiny Tim.
I'm sure he's a good soul.
You would be sure of it if you've seen or spoke to him. I wouldn't be surprised if you got Petra a better situation.
You know Petra!
And Petra will be keeping company with someone and setting up for herself.
Get along with you.
It's as likely as not one of these days, but there's plenty of time for that. And, however, and whenever we part from one another, we shall not forget our poor Tiny Tim, or forget the first among us to depart.
Never, Father, no.
And when we recollect on how patient and mild he was, although he was a little tired, we shall not quarrel easily among ourselves and forget our poor Tiny Tim in doing.
Never, Father, never.
My little boy. My poor Tiny Tim. Spirit, what man was that whom we saw lying dead? No. Before I draw nearer to that stone to which you point, answer me this. Are these the shadows of things that will be, or maybe only? For men's courses will foreshadow certain ends to which, if preserved, they must lead, but if the courses be departed from, well, then the ends must change. Say it is so with what you show me. I am the man who lie there dead. No. Spirit, I am not the man from what I was, and I will not be the man that I must have been but for this intervention. Why show me this if I am not past all hope? Good Spirit, your nature intercedes me and pities me. Assure me that I may yet change the shadows of what I have seen by an altered life. I will live in the past, present, and the future. I will keep Christmas in my heart and try to honor it all year. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons they have taught. Say that I may expunge away the writing on the stone. Stay back! Back with you! God, please us of the deep! live in the past, present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. Oh, Jane Marley, heaven and the Christmas day be praised for this. I say on my knees, Jane Marley, on my knees. Why, they're not torn down. They're not torn down, rings and all, they are here. I am here. The porridge, the door, everything, I don't know what to do. My God, I don't know what to do. I'm as light as a feather. I'm as giddy as a drunken man. I'm as happy as an angel. I'm as merry as a schoolboy. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all the world. There is the porridge where it sat. There's the corner by which I saw the ghost of Christmas present sat. And there's the door by which the ghost of Jane Marley entered. And there's the window by which I saw the wandering spirits. It's all true. It's all right. It all happened. My God. I don't know how long I've been amongst the spirits. I don't know what day of the month it is. I don't know anything. Well, never mind. It's fine. I'm fine being a baby. I don't know a thing. Oh, glorious, glorious. What's today?
Eh?
What's today, my fine fellow?
Today? Why, it's Christmas Day.
It's Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. Well, they can do whatever they like. Of course they can. Hello, my fine fellow.
Hello.
Do you know the Poulters on the next street but one by the corner?
I should hope I did.
Oh, a wonderful boy, an intelligent boy. Do you know if the prize turkey is still hanging there? Not the little one, the big one.
What, the big as me?
Remarkable boy. Yes, my young buck.
It's hanging there now.
It is? Go and buy it.
Walker.
No, I'm in earnest. Go and buy it and tell the man to bring it here. Tell him that I'll give him the directions. Be back with him and I'll give you a shilling. Well, I'll be back with him in less than 5 minutes and I'll give you half a crown. Oh, I'll send it to Bob Cratchit's. He shan't know who sent it. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim. Christmas. My strength! Why, it's massive! You can't take that all the way to Camden Town. You shall have a cab and the directions. Merry Christmas. Oh, music. Oh, my goodness, my dear sirs, a Merry Christmas to the both of you. It was a very kind thing of what you did yesterday. I hope you succeeded.
Mr. Scrooge?
Yes, that is me. I'm afraid you're not very fond of me, but I'd like to ask your forgiveness. And you shall have the goodness.
Lord, bless me, Mr. Scrooge, are you serious?
Quite serious. There's a great many back payments included with it. Will you do me that favor?
Mr. Scrooge, I don't know what to say to such munificence.
Don't say anything at all. Come and see me. Will you come and see me?
We will.
Oh, thank you. Thank you 50 times. Merry Christmas to the both of you.
And Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Scrooge.
A Merry Christmas. Oh, yes. Merry Christmas.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, la 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 la. Donny now our gay
dear, is your master home?
Yes, sir.
Where is he, my love?
He's in the sitting room, sir, along with mistress. I'll show you in if you please.
That's okay. He knows me.
He said that Christmas was a humbug, as I lived. And he believed it too.
Fred!
Why, bless my soul, who was that?
It's I, your Uncle Scrooge. It's your Uncle Scrooge! Fred, I've come as you asked. Will you let me in?
Let you in,
And you, my dear, we should have met a long time ago. Can you forgive a silly old man?
Uncle Scrooge, of course I can.
It's so nice to meet you.
And you.
You know, I have always wanted to meet you, Mr. Scrooge. The droll way in which you left the phrase has made me furious. I say, have you met the other guests?
I have not. Thank you.
Oh dear, have the fiddler's gone home for the evening?
I think so. Well, it's been a wonderful Christmas.
Yes, it really has.
Oh, they just arrived. Hey, fiddler, play some music.
Cratchit! You're late!
I'm very sorry, sir. I'm behind my times.
Behind your times, yes you are. I think you are. Step down here if you please.
I'm very sorry, sir. It's only once a year. It shall not be repeated. I was making much merry yesterday.
Now, I'll tell you what, my friend. I'm not going to stand for this sort of thing any longer. And therefore, I'm going to raise your salary. Merry Christmas, Bob Cratchit, a merrier Christmas than I've ever given you. I'm going to raise your salary. And if you'll let me, I'd like to help your family as well. We can talk about it this afternoon over a Christmas bowl of smoking bishop. Start up the fires and buy another coal scuttle before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
I don't know what to say, Mr. Scrooge, but I heartily thank you. It's the most wondrous day. The most wondrous day. God bless you, Mr. Scrooge, and your sleep. And as Tiny Tim has observed, God bless us, everyone.